Hi everyone, and welcome to the next edition of Like, Share, Follow. And this week I have Madi Agius, who is a USC grad, a social media minor grad at that. But Madi is now the media and sales coordinator at Hot 91 and Zinc 96 radio stations, and they're under the Grant broadcaster banner. So how are you going, Madi? We just worked out, like, you graduated at the beginning of last year. So tell me, what's been going on since that time until now?
Yeah. So my third year of uni, it was 2018, and so I finished my subjects October, November, but I actually, for our PR subject, we had to do an internship, and thanks to Kylie, who you had last week, I was recommended to Peppy Betty, who is the Queensland Advertising Public Relations Director here on the coast, and he took me on, thanks to Kylie. While I was there doing my hours, a job became available as an advertising and social media account coordinator. So I applied like everyone else, and there was like 25 applicants, went through a couple of rounds of interviews. Yeah, I got the job, so finished my internship, had a full-time job and 6 months of uni to go. And then I worked there for about a year, and then during which I got offered actually 3 jobs, one at Go Transit, which is a media, bus media, trains, everything like that, a media consultancy company, and then Hot 91 and Zinc 96, and I jumped over to radio, which is where I'm now.
Oh, fantastic. And so what do you think set you apart from other graduates in getting these roles?
I think when I went for the role at Queensland Advertising, the agency, I harped on the fact, and everyone always says, oh, I need experience to get a job in, but I harped on the fact that I was a blank slate. You could shape and mold me to whatever you wanted me to be. I obviously did have a little bit of social media experience and a bit of practical experience in your subjects, but I did harp on the fact that I was a blank slate. You could do whatever you wanted with me, and I think they really liked that, because a lot of companies, they do want someone who doesn't have experience sometimes. But I also think I'd worked doing my event subject. I worked with the Sunshine Coast Turf Club doing Facebook ads and things like that for our event. And I also did an internship with Jess Toms of White Lane Creative when she was doing that. And so I learned more social stuff there. And so I obviously brought that into my interview. So I think dabbling at having that experience in your second or third year absolutely helps. But I also like to say that I was a blank slate, and I think the company really liked that.
Excellent. And so tell me more about, because we have some students who are now working full-time and studying in their final year. And as you know, like, your final year at university is quite intense, let alone having a full-time job as well. So how did you manage that? Like, what were some of the strategies you used to juggle both of those things?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just think I definitely diary a calendar, and I would plan what subjects I had to study for on what days. Also plan to have my assignments done early in advance. Obviously didn't do much social stuff on the weekends, but just 100% time management. And that job, agency and working in media, it is so deadline heavy, which is 100% uni all over. So you do have to just be organised. You just have to get ahead, get in front. And also reach out to your lecturers or to your employer, tell them you are snowed under, or the lecturer, and you were so great and accommodating to me. And I think that's one thing in uni, at USC especially, they're quite accommodating to individual circumstances.
Yeah, and so tell me more about your job now. So you work in advertising sales, but you also told me, so tell me about that, but you also told me that you have a segment on a nationally broadcast radio show.
Yeah, so my day job, my 8:30 to 5 is we have 7 sales representatives, and I look after them along with someone else. Look after the clients. They go out and they sell radio. We come back and we do everything behind the scenes. So work on the ads, work on the creative. If they've got digital paired with their radio, which we have a fully serviced digital agency downstairs, Sparks Digital, we will help Sparks get the campaign going. But then my little side hobby, on a Thursday night, I am on air with Mikey of the Random 30, which is our nationally syndicated entertainment show at nighttime. So we go against Smallsy Surgery of Nova and Ash London of, I think, the Hit Network. So I do movie reviews, we do some entertainment news, all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's so great. I think
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. I love radio because I love the place I'm at because you get the digital side of things. I was just doing digital training this morning. You learn radio, which isn't going anywhere, even though social is obviously massive, especially with our company. It's definitely becoming our main focus. Sorry, not just becoming a focus with radio. But then I also, get to try on-air stuff. And I never thought I'd do that. Yeah.
That's great. And so tell me what's some of the best advice you've been given in relation to your career?
Okay, so I have a few, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, great.
I feel like I learned on the first day of my full-time job at QA in 2018 was always take notes. You're going to walk into a meeting, you need to take notes. You're not going to remember it up here. That we learned that in uni, obviously, but take notes. Definitely always be yourself. I think you're going to feel more genuine, everything's going to feel more real if you're just being yourself. I think stand up, shake hands and smile. I know Peppy was quite impressed with me. I was meeting people of all walks on the Sunshine Coast in business, and shaking hands and just being yourself really helps. But also no question's a silly question. Ask questions. You're learning, and most times you'll find the people that you're talking to, they're more than willing to help because they love to talk about what they know and they want to share that.
Yeah, no, that is great advice. And even I see even taking in a notepad and pen almost as a sign of respect into it.
Absolutely. It's not going to go over the top of your head.
Yeah, like if you're going in there without any sort of preparation to take notes, I think it shows that you care about the meeting by
absolutely. I couldn't even count a time where I haven't taken a notebook. I think it's just, you never know what's going to be said there. You're never going to know if you're sparked with an idea. It's definitely a level of respect, whether it's a client meeting or a team meeting. Yeah, it does so much wonder, and it helps with the media world is so fully busy and crazy and jam-packed. It helps with the organisation, and you're not going to remember everything, trust me.
No. And you've got to be careful. Like if you're taking notes on your phone, you need to explain that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because
looking up.
You bring out your phone and you start, like, people will think, are you on Facebook?
I know, scrolling in the middle of a meeting.
Some people take notes in different ways, but you've got to make that.
You can be tech savvy, but just communicate.
And so tell me, what are some of the best things that you learned at uni that's helped you in your current career?
100% the practical experience we get. So with your social media subjects and then with the PR internship and the events subject, that practical experience, that face-to-face with clients or over the phone or through the screen, it 100% helps. I think the biggest thing for me, I've always been scared. Well, when I was younger, I was so scared for that part, when that was inevitably going to come with uni. You can talk to your lecturers or you can hide in the classroom, but you get thrown in the deep end. You have to talk, you have to ask questions, look for what clients are looking for, really dig deep. But I think just that practical experience, it's second to none, and I think USC does it so well. I have friends that have gone to other unis and never done such practical experience. We were literally talking to businesses on the Sunshine Coast, or I think even elsewhere. It just makes all the difference. It for sure helped me get a step in the door by saying I had done work for Sunshine Coast Turf Club, for small businesses, things like that.
Yeah, and I mean, students are getting this practical experience they can put on their CV, but it's also things like just having someone coach you to be able to make that call to someone you don't know, a business owner, and asking the questions and understanding how that all works, and
absolutely
doing it in a supportive environment. Because when I finished uni and I was just thrown in, I had to I could nearly hyperventilate when I had to pick up the phone and talk to someone for the first time. I just didn't have that confidence. So I think if we can try and build that and give you practice, while you're there,
it's scary. It's always going to be scary. Yeah.
you're going to it'll be so much easier. I think because it'll be more familiar and it won't feel so strange.
Yeah, and it's over before you know it. Like uni flies and those semesters fly, and then next thing you know, you can put that on your resume. What other subject at uni can you put on your resume and say, I did this? Because all the experience helps. And I feel like so many jobs, and, you still have a look and see what's out there, especially here on the coast during COVID. But all of the things that I've seen on advertise, they want, even if you've just done a little bit of, even if you know the base knowledge of running a Facebook ad, or it's just, it all helps.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what's something like some sort of knowledge or skill that you wish you'd learned at university that you really needed since you graduated? Do you have a long list?
No, I feel like it's a silly one, but we touched on it. It's definitely the phone skills, like how to communicate, or even in person, the phone skills, how you cannot sound like a silly head when you're talking to a professional person, and you can internally be freaking out, but how to remain cool, calm, collected, not fumble, but also, some people can be really intimidating, but they're really not. But I think that's something you don't always, you kind of learn it at home, or in your own time. It's one of those things you get thrown in the deep end, but 100% like a phone skill, or how to communicate in a meeting without being silly or talking too much, just taking in and listening, like those phones and like people skills.
Because a lot of people do communicate electronically, and so you really do. You really need to build those skills. And I know, like during COVID, I was like giving lectures and things like that, but
you're crazy.
We all had to stay at home. Like the next time I went into a shop, I was like, blah, there.
How do I talk like human?
I had a normal conversation with someone. Those skills have to be constantly developed. Like I'm a professional communicator, and I still have to keep honing those skills.
I know, and even when you go for another job down the track, you've still got to shake that person's hand and be like, "This is what I've done, hire me," kind of thing. You still, you're constantly going to have to do it. You're going to have a bigger client or something you're really scared to pitch. Then, you're constantly going to have to be refining those skills. And they're just, you can learn things in uni, but they're just ones that you constantly have to just hone in. It's just that confidence, or that false confidence, if you will, just believing in yourself.
That idea of, I guess, fake it till you make it. So it's not even faking it. It's more like just pretend you're confident until you are.
Yeah, confidence is key. And, I don't know, it's like a habit, forming a habit. And once you do it enough, you're okay. I think, I remember when I first started at QA, I was more the phone answerer. Like the first calls would come to me. If I wasn't there, they'd go to someone else. So I remember, can you answer the phone to one of the other girls? Because I just wanted to be perfect all the time. I want to answer it and know, hello, Madison from Q Advertising speaking. How you going? Whatever. But it's once you do it, then you're fine, and it's second nature. But then I go to my next job, and same thing. I was like, picking up the phone, but you learn.
And that's the thing. Like the learning never ends, and if it does, I think you're doing it wrong.
I envy you. Or yes, you're doing it wrong. Something's gone wrong.
And so, look, I know that your job now at this point in time, it's not heavily focused on social media.
No.
But we still, and we were talking before about what seems to happen is, like, at this point in your career, you're focusing on these types of ads. But I bet you in a few years' time, everything's going to come together into a role that you need all of that. So, and you'll be like, that's why I focused on that. So I always like to ask guests around something that they've learned in the last couple of weeks in relation to social media, like a new hack or a tool or something, some bit of information that they'd like to share. And so this could just be, your own, like, sort of personal use of social media if you want to.
I think I learned so much from other people, and it's so funny. Last week I was watching Kylie, because I love watching everyone on here and see what everyone's doing. And I was watching Kylie, and she actually said Facebook Reels. I did not know, to save my life, maybe because social's not my everyday at the moment. Facebook Reels, I did not know that was going on, and that they were going to be competing with TikTok in that way. So I found that really cool.
Yeah. So
also,
you're on Instagram now, and I think Facebook is doing it too. So
I think that's awesome, and I still find the power of video live silly, whatever it may be, short clips, whatever. I think it's so powerful. And I also think, what's the new one? Oh, they're doing sponsored posts within groups on Facebook. Have you seen that? So I find that a really amazing way to engage, to monetize on a really like engaged group audience already as it is, and to partner with brands on a, it could be a camping Facebook group, and you've got a sponsored post of a brand that is got to do with camping, like you're completely targeting an audience that you've already engaged. It's incredible. But what I love seeing is one app or one tool and then the others follow, because it just goes to show something's working, and it's awesome.
I know, and I mean Instagram's been doing that. They were up against, like, they were fighting, well, not fighting, but challenging Snapchat for such a long time.
But haven't they just surpassed?
Yeah, and then now it's like they're after TikTok. So
Snapchat. I know. Yeah. But I remember when Kylie Jenner tweeted like Snapchat's crap or something now, and everyone just went off Snapchat.
Yeah.
I still use it every now and then, but it's more to do a silly face or to put up something that I wouldn't, as glossed over as Instagram. Instagram's more, that pretty rose colour. But I like to put up things that aren't as, you want to be genuine, you want to be real. I think Instagram still has to have that, doesn't need that filter over it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, mine's all my sunrise shots.
I love your sunrise shots. I want a calendar.
I'm in the process of, I picked the photos for next year. I did a vote. Good girl. So, yeah. So
at least you've been able to get out and take photos and stuff now that you're not, like, boxed into an office all the time.
Yeah, I know.
With COVID.
And so do you have any advice to give to, say, emerging, we'll call them social media professionals, but students who are doing social media at USC or studying at any university, or just emerging professionals or students about how they can be successful in their careers?
I think 100% just be wholly and solely yourself, because you're spending 5 days a week in a job. You want to fully be yourself, fully immerse yourself into a role. Don't be frightened if you're silly or asking silly questions. Completely just be yourself, because you'll gain so many more meaningful relationships from that. And I think that's a massive part on me being able to be offered jobs or be considered in roles, or just knowing someone that comes through the office was just because I was being myself, and they remember you for that. If you're not being yourself, you might not have a bigger impact as you would like.
Yeah, that's great advice.
And study hard.
Study hard. Yeah. And I think that's really good advice, particularly about being yourself. And what else can we say? So I just wanted to say also, the most important question of all, and the name of the show is, who do you like, share, and follow?
Sure. She's not, she's social media. So her name's Greta Van Riel. Have you heard of her?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah. She's she's in Forbes 30 under 30. She's, young. She's a machine. I love her. I followed her through years ago through Jess Toms, who was obviously a previous USC grad. And I just think 5 multi-million-dollar startup businesses, and although she's not got 5 right now, she thinks she's sold 1 or palmed 1 off. She's just, her mind, she's a machine. It takes unique people to really make change, and she's just done amazing.
Excellent. And so when I post this, can you tag her page in the comments?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think she's lucky. Her name, she's got @Greta, GRETTA on Instagram, so she was lucky to snabble that one up. It's like she's like Adele, but she's Greta of Instagram. But I think she's just awesome. She once grew an Instagram account from 0 to like almost 50,000, 48.5, I think. In like 24 hours.
Wow, that's insane.
So I think, although she's a startup entrepreneur, it just goes to show power of social, right? That's just amazing.
Absolutely. And so do you have any final comments to share with our audience today?
Never stop learning. Keep learning, keep asking questions. It's an ever-evolving world, and you never know what you can learn from someone. So thanks, Kylie, for last week's Facebook reel, learning that. I keep learning, keep consuming in a positive way. keep following, keep scrolling, because I just think there's so much out there that you can learn that's positive. Social media can sometimes be considered a dark place, but I think, it's just so powerful and can be so positive.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's a really nice way to end it. So
Thank you
so much, Maddie. And and thanks to everyone who's watched. And next week I have Michelle Oates. And Michelle is a USC grad, but she's also the social community manager at Social Soup for Australia and New Zealand. And I think Michelle now lives in Sydney doing that role. So very exciting to have. I love talking to all USC grads who come back. So I think this show is really good for me.
Yeah.
I love it. I love hearing all your stories, because you end up in so many different places and doing so many different things, and it just shows you how diversified social media education is, and where it can take you and how it can help you. So, and
I know, I feel like there were so many students, and I remember social was like one of the biggest classes, and I remember you were like, record class, or record amount of students enrolled. I just think there's so many people, and then when you see them come on your show, like, that's what they're doing, and like, that's awesome. And I think it goes to show you can go anywhere, you can do anything, and having that, we've all had the same education, right? The same subjects, but we're all in different parts, of this world.
Yeah, no, it's really great just to catch up with everyone. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Thank you.